What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video, and it was former President Trump talking about cutting Social Security. Now, I had a lot of people respond to that saying, no, he's not talking about cutting Social Security. He's talking about cutting the theft in Social Security. And so what I want to do is I want to go line by line and show you his exact quote, and we'll talk a little bit about it. And there's two sides. There's some economists that are out there saying, yes, he said cut to Social Security. I'm going to show you Robert Reich. He's the economist that said that. And then there are other people that are saying the same thing. He said cuts to Social Security. And then you also have people that are saying, no, he's not talking about Social Security. He's talking about cutting the theft in Social Security, the bad management in Social Security. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. What did former President Trump really say when it comes to Social Security? But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification, clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Threads, you can at the TEC Show Live. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Twitter first. I want to take a look at Robert Reich, and this is what he said. He says, Trump wants to cut Social Security so he can give another giant tax cut to the rich. So I want to take a look at this exchange, and I want to look at the actual quote. Okay, so former President Trump, he was being interviewed, and this is what he said. I believe it was on CNBC, but I want to look at the quote because it's important for us to look at exactly what he said. Because I talked about this last week, and there were several people that were saying that's not what he said. He didn't say he wants to cut Social Security. And he was talking about theft. He was talking about this. Well, let's look at the quote. Okay, so we're going to go line by line.
So first of all, there is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting, and in terms of also the theft and the bad management of entitlements, tremendous bad management of entitlements. There's tremendous amounts of things and numbers of things you can do.
And this was his quote. And he said, so first of all, there is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting, okay? Just look at this first part right here. So there's a lot that we can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting, okay? Just stop right there because this is where people get confused because he continues to talk, but we have to listen to each thing that he is saying because you hear cuts and then you hear theft and then you hear this other stuff and you're thinking, oh, well, that's what he's talking about cutting. He's not talking about cutting Social Security. But he specifically said, so first of all, there is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting. And in addition to, that's what he's saying, and in the terms of also. Okay, now this is important. And in the terms of also theft. So he's talking about cutting Social Security. He's talking about maybe making some cuts to when it comes to theft and things like that. So, doing some more investigations. I don't know exactly. He's not being specific there. But you have to understand when he is saying, and in terms of also, all this right here, this means in addition to. So he's talking about cutting Social Security, and then he's talking about addressing the issues when it comes to theft. And then he goes on, and the bad management of entitlements. Tremendous bad management of entitlements. So that is exactly what he's saying. There's tremendous amounts of things and numbers of things you can do. So I don't necessarily agree with the statement. Okay, now Trump, when he talks, he kind of just goes all over the place. In my opinion, when it comes to former President Trump, he doesn't really have policy. He doesn't talk about policy. He just talks about there's a problem here, there's a problem there, there's a problem here, and you need to fix it, or we need to find a way to fix it. But he is not putting any policy in front of us. He's not telling us, okay, this is the way that we need to handle this situation. Okay, but in this statement, he is clearly saying that he is open to cuts to Social Security. Okay, he's clearly saying that. And he is not putting everything in one basket. He's not just saying it's Social Security, theft, and all bad management, and we're going to make cuts to some of those different things. He specifically says, and I'll go over the first sentence one more time. So first of all, there is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting. Okay? Just stop right there. Cutting, and in terms of also the theft. And so hopefully that is clear. And all I'm doing is I'm trying to bring you the information. I have a lot of people that will ask me, okay, well, who's in favor of an enhancement to Social Security? Who's in favor of cutting Social Security? Who's in favor of this? Who's in favor of that? I'm bringing it to you exactly the way they're saying it. I'm not changing any words. I'm not interpreting it a different way. I'm showing you exactly what they're saying. Okay, now, former President Trump, a couple days later, he backed away from that and says, no, I would never cut Social Security. I would never cut Medicare. But I'm just showing you exactly what he said. Just like I showed you President Biden, and this was back 50 years ago when he was talking about cuts to Social Security. He was talking about sunsetting Social Security. I'll bring that information to you if it's there. Now, you have to look, 50 years ago, we change in 50 years. Okay, so we might look at something a certain way 50 years ago, and then now we look at it a different way. Now, President Biden is not talking about cutting Social Security. He hasn't said that in years, okay, like we're saying, 50 years ago. But if you have two candidates running for office, running for president, and one 50 years ago said, yes, we should sunset Social Security, which means that we need oversight. We need to look every 5 years or so into the program to see if it's still working the way that it should be working. And if not, then make cuts. That's one thing. But if we're listening to someone just a couple of weeks ago say that, yeah, I'm open to cutting Social Security, I would really be concerned about the person who just said that they're open to cutting Social Security. And I will say one thing when it comes to former President Trump. Just the way that I've seen him kind of, go back and forth with people, he likes to talk to the person in the room. He likes to impress the person in the room. So if you ask him a question, he's trying to impress that person. So if that person says, yeah, we have to do something about Social Security, are you open to cuts? Then he'll say, yeah, you know what? I'm open to cuts. And then later he'll think about it and say, oh, yeah, I can't really say that, so I'm going to have to change the way, change what I've said. And so I'm just bringing this to you the way that it comes out. And if it comes out that way, that's exactly the way that you're going to see it. Now, I want you to let me know what you think about what he was saying. Do you think that he was really talking about cutting Social Security? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one.